Hello everyone and welcome to GTEC Race 2 at BrandsHatch. I am your commentator today, Drew King, and I have my dad here commentating because Lopez cannot commentate today. So, today we are racing at BrandsHatch for 41 laps of this BrandsHatch track. We take it along the lap trap guide in our BMW. We're on the first corner. It's always easy to mess up here. You can easily go into the ditch over there. It's not fun because you always get stuck over there. Rounding turn 2 is top of the hill. You can cut the inside as I did a little there. It's fine. It's okay to cut the inside a little bit. Coming around to turn 3, you got to be careful here because that outside curve is not as friendly as it seems. You can use it a bit, but not too much. Rounding turn 5 now, with this uphill camber corner is not an easy one to overtake on, which people will see find out. And then after we have a slight bend turn 6 and then a long straight down and uphill to a relatively flat turn 7, a bit of braking into the entrance of the corner. Then a small straight to turn 8, which is a bumpy one on the inside. Gotta be careful of that curve, and the gravel on the outside. Rounding turn 9 now, going up into this blind right-hander. It can be very easy to overshoot there. Coming around turn 10, you got to be careful not to go into the gravel as of this track because the grass is very close to the track on this version of the track, so you got to be careful. And then coming around the final corner, always easy to mess up. Of course, don't run right because there's gravel right there. And that is our track lap guide in our BMW. And now we're going to take a look at the standings. So Drifting RC is leading with 10 points, followed by Lucy, then Wolf. Wolf is actually not here this race, so he is being replaced by Super Knight, and everyone else stays there. RG Lab still leads 15 points, DRC behind with 14, and Fazzo. And now we take a look at our grid. It is Drifting RC starting in first, and after that we have Lucy starting in second. In third place we have Sushi Samurai for Team Spider. Fourth place we have Super Knight, Wolf's replacement. In fifth place we have Dean Astley for DRC Motorsport or Racing, and X Inferno Lopez, the only Sir Special car that showed up today, and then Spider Boy 9 in the back for Team Spider. So now we go to the grid for the start of the race.
Now, what I found when I was testing out this track myself, I found it very narrow and not much of a runoff area and gravelly, and you got to be careful because you're losing a lot of time. I went off the track several times, obviously, when I was doing my test runs with this track.
3 wide into turn 1. Still going through turn 1. It looks okay. Everyone looks like they got a clean start. Around up into turn 2. Super Knight gonna take a look. No, he's gonna slot back behind, and the two RG Labs cars beside each other, with Inferno now behind. And then coming around into turn 4, I believe that was. I believe one of the other cars are back there. Dropped back a bit. Coming wide, and Spider's off the track and puts his teammate in the wall. That's not going to help Team Spider for sure. Coming around up the hill to our sort of flat corner with the Drift King in front, and then the two RG Lab cars in second and third, and then we have Lopez behind in Lopez Inferno for the only Sir Special car that showed up. Spider got a good start, starting from back place in the grid, down in 5th now, or up in 5th.
Now I noticed we have a new Ferrari joining the team as well here, a 458 Italia.
Yep, that is Wolf's replacement for this race, because he did not show up, as both cars go off the track there again.
Now I like the Ferrari 458, but I was told that sometimes it's a little bit tough on tires once it wears tires, and it seems to... once it wears down tires, it gets a little bit skitterish in the corners. It's getting a little bit difficult to drive, so...
We're on to start lap 2 now, with Lucy going off track, and I believe there was someone else that went off behind. I didn't see the name, though. A little bit of gravel out of turn 1. Now Sushi Samurai behind Lucy. Both of them got bad starts for the first lap, and Spider's dropped back after his good start. Around into turn 4. These three battle are still going on as Spider's gone wide, and oh no, he's actually spun it. Yeah, that's very easy to do out there. Yeah, on that green concrete part that looks like grass, but it isn't, and you don't really know where the grass is sometimes. So you could easily spin it there if you're not careful. It's a long race, so you just got to settle in and do well, as Dynasty is following Lopez up here.
No, I tried driving these tracks with a controller, like a handheld controller, and to me it was extremely difficult. So anybody driving with a controller, I think, hey, props to you, because you got to be doing good. I mean, I had a very difficult time without a steering wheel, a gas pedal, and a brake pedal and whatnot. I just found, like, I don't know, maybe I'm just not accustomed to a controller or whatnot, but yeah, big shout out to whoever's using a controller by hand to kind of keep their car going around at these paces and at these speeds.
Yeah, for sure.
Especially on this narrow track.
As Dynasty goes off track. Yeah, for sure. Oh, and Lucy behind. For sure, Wheel has a advantage, but it's not like other games, like Assetto Corsa or something like that, where the controller disadvantage is way bigger compared to this game, where it's sort of built for a controller. Of course, most of us are playing on PS4, so there's a couple of PS5 players as well. But if you ever feel like joining, you have Gran Turismo 7, and you feel like joining a league, and you feel like you're a good driver, come and join us. You can join the Discord, or you can message DriftKing RC on PlayStation and ask if you want to join. Entry is open, and yeah, if you feel like joining, let me know.
I've actually been watching all of this series so far, and I know we're only 2 races in, but I'm likely going to watch all 12 races, the entire race, because I find it's a lot more exciting watching actual guys and teams that are put together racing with and against each other than just having AI cars going around that are just kind of filling the grid slots. Like, definitely better and more fun and more interesting watching real races with guys working strategies and when you're going to pit and what type of tire you're going to use and how much gas you're going to have, compared to, like, just here I'm racing a bunch of AI cars that are in my way or hitting me from behind or this, that, the other, or whatever it is.
Yeah, with AI cars, they're a little bit unknown compared to it, but there's new AI coming out for this game, supposedly. It's called Sophie, and it should be better than the current AI.
Also, I'm learning a lot about this game in terms of, like, when you're actually racing, because at first I didn't know you could, well, obviously I know you could pick medium, soft, and hard tires, but
for those who don't know, he doesn't really play this game.
Yeah, I don't play this game that often. I do just practice hot laps here and there where, what is my fuel ratio mixture, and if am I running lean, am I running power, am I changing my brake settings? I'm normally not doing any of that stuff. I'm just like, I just have DriftKing set the car up for me. I'm like, okay, I'll pick a Ferrari 458 because I like the car, or maybe the Lexus, or maybe the new Supra, and I'll just do some hot laps, 4, 5, 6, 7, 10 hot laps, and just see how it goes and see how long I can keep it on the track. So you guys that are running 41 laps straight, all of you guys that are sticking it out and running the whole race, and it's definitely, it's definitely not easy to stay on the track consistently for 41 laps. And
yeah,
I mean, I have a hard time staying on sometimes consistently for 5 laps, right?
Yeah, of course, setup goes a long way in this game. You have to set your cars up differently for each race. Even though we do have balance of performance on, you can go in and tune your cars, so you can make adjustments to the roll bars and the suspension and, of course, aero.
And of course, learning the track. Like, for me, I mean, when I mostly used to race Formula 1 games, and the tracks that I knew good, because we're here in Canada, I knew obviously the Gilles Villeneuve track in Canada. I knew Monza really well in Italy, and I knew Spa-Francorchamps in Belgium. Sorry to cut you off,
but we're looking at the race start. Sorry to cut you off. As here, Sushi does jump the start and end up getting a slow start after. Super and I got a really good start in the Ferrari from 3rd place on the grid, and ends up going 3 wide, and I think Lucy backs up from behind. DriftKing stays ahead going into the first corner, and I believe Lucy takes a look up the inside and Super and I gives him room. As just battling through the first lap, you got to try and keep it clean. As now we go on board with Lopez for the start. Oh yes, Sushi Samurai got a terrible start.
Is Lopez's car number 007?
Yep, it is 007. He's the James Bond car.
He's a James Bond car.
And there's Spider from his Amazing Spider.
Like Robert Herjavec.
Yeah, there's Spider that got a good start from last place on the grid. He got a good start from where he started. It was a big battle with the two RG Labs cars, which really slowed them down off the start.
Now I met one of the drivers that drives in the Ferrari Challenge. His car's 007 as well. Robert Herjavec from Shark Tank or Dragon's Den, if you've ever seen that show on TV. And I met him at the Toronto Honda Indy, where they raced the Ferrari Challenge cars, as well as, I saw the Ferrari Challenge in Montreal at the Formula One. I've been to Formula One races maybe 3 or 4 times, and back when they had the V10s and the V8s, not before this V6 turbo hybrid thing. But they race similar cars like this, but all Ferraris in the Ferrari Challenge.
Yeah, I think it's like that 458 GT3 and that Superman's running, but just a bit different.
Yeah.
Like it has a little bit different components.
Yeah, he initially used to run the 360 Modinas, and then they went to the F430s, and he does race the 458 Italia right now in the Ferrari Challenge.
It will be 488 probably.
Yeah, probably a 488 now. I mean, I haven't watched that series.
Speaking of Ferrari, he's gone off the track now.
His tire's getting slippery.
Yeah, only 7 laps in. You gotta be careful, because 7 laps in and making mistakes, that's how you drop back very early.
Well, maybe I can say it now because the game's on, and I asked you why you picked the Lexus RCF over a Ferrari 458, and you're like, because of the overall car, not that the Ferrari wasn't a nicer looking car or a faster car in a straight line. It's just how it will, how that mid-engine car will attack tires and how it will handle once the tires wear down a bit. Because I was like, that's, the Lexus is not the best, whatever, but you're like telling me it's more fuel efficient, so easier on tires, better on corners after you've been running for a while. So mid-engine cars get a little bit slippery and run on a little wild side when the tires start to scrub down on them.
Yeah, they start to go down after a while, as Drifting has pulled a 10-second gap to Inferno behind, and then Lucy has caught up after the bad first lap. Going around to start lap 8, as we now go to Sushi Samurai, who had 3rd place off the start and then bogged down horribly and then getting hit by Spider going around one of the corners. Own teammate, friendly fire there, but nothing you can do about it. It's racing. You gotta keep your head down and keep pushing. Now looking back at our leaders, Drifting RC still leading with the fastest lap as well, as he's catching up to Spider. I think Spider must have pitted. I didn't pay attention to the leaderboard at the side. As Spider lets him by through the back part of the track, going down to the final part of the track. So I don't know what happened to Spider off the start. I guess I saw the spin, but he didn't drop that far back. But he must have pitted or something or spun again. You never know. As looks like Lucy is now closing the gap to Inferno, slowly coming down, and Super Knight, I think, made a mistake and dropped a bit further back as well.
And once again, good to all you guys that hold out for 41 laps of this. I do find it hard to stay on a steering wheel for close to an hour or just over an hour. So definitely it wears you down, even though it's a video game and it's not a real car, but it does wear you down. So to stay on track, and stay consistent or fairly consistent for 41 laps, it takes a little bit.
Yeah, it definitely takes some practice to keep it going.
And definitely what I would say is learn these tracks before ahead of time. What I've done is I've committed to racing the next track, which is Goodwood, right?
Yep, the next track's Goodwood.
Next track's Goodwood, learning the track prior to the race on Sunday, because I'm not familiar with all these tracks. I know Suzuka, I know obviously Monaco, you guys aren't racing Monaco. I know stuff from Formula One races that I remember when I used to race on a PC with an old Momo wheel, but obviously these tracks like BrandsHatch, I don't know this track at all. Found it very narrow. Goodwood I don't know at all, but I'll know it by Sunday just to be watching the race live with what you guys pull off and do here.
It's always good to watch it live. And of course, if people do want, I can run the race live and then go back in and make this pre-edit version of the race. And I can run it with my perspective if you want. If you feel like that, let me know in the comments. As now, Lucy has now caught up to Inferno, and this is going to start to get interesting. We're going through start lap 10, it looks like. Again, yep, lap 10. Down in the first corner, which is still a bit ways back from Inferno.
Yeah, I will say that, you know, watching the first two races, like Lucy, you have to keep an eye on. Lucy's like a very consistent driver.
Yeah, and Wolf. Wolf just had his strategy wrong in the first race.
Yeah, Wolf had the wrong strategy in the first race. I couldn't judge Wolf on the second race because Wolf missed it, unfortunately. But Lucy's got a good driving, pretty good strategy. I think you got to watch out for Lucy. Like, Lucy's very likely going to take the lead in this series, but
it's still early series.
It's still early. It's still early, but you can see some consistent driving with Lucy that you know, pit strategies and whatnot. Because you know, once again, go off the track and come back on, you're losing 10 to 15 seconds just like that.
Yeah, you'll drop back quite a bit. If you're careful.
You know, Lucy seems to be pretty consistent for what I've seen for the first two races.
Oh, look at these two wide.
Yeah.
Coming through with one of the final corners. They're still going through. Inferno looks like he's going to hold an edge on him, but Lucy's got the power. Nope. He's going to drop slap back behind. As now Super Knight is catching up for the two RG Labs cars are now catching Inferno. This will be interesting to see what happens.
You have the Mercedes chasing in the Aston Martin.
Yep. And the Ferrari closing behind as they're catching a slow car of Spider now. Turn 2, there's yellow flags. Someone has had a mistake. Someone is... Oh, now the yellow flags are gone. What was the mistake for then? Why was there a yellow flag ticket now? Around here, drifting.
Oh, off the track and a spin. And a spin.
And a spin,
That's where you're losing seconds. Look at seconds being lost here. How much is the second place going to close in on that? That's going to cost 10 to 12 seconds for sure.
Yeah, you're just
really like don't want to be skidding off the track. You really want to keep your tires on the dry pavement.
Yeah, you definitely want to stay off there. When you go through there, you got a bit of the grass on the outside that's compared to the concrete that was painted green.
And obviously, I mean, for those who know, like, you have to kind of back down your driving when your tires start to wear down and you start to notice a difference in braking and a difference in cornering, other than just running into the pit. Like, sometimes you have to nurse these tires.
Look at this though. Lucy is shadowing Inferno.
There's
Lucy is shadowing
looking
Inferno.
looking for an opening.
And there it is. Gone wide on the last corner.
Got the opening.
And here comes Super Knight now.
Super Knight?
Super Knight goes by now.
Is the Ferrari?
Super Knight's the Ferrari, yeah.
You guys got different names. I thought the Ferrari was Samurai.
Oh, drifted.
Wasn't the Ferrari Samurai?
No, Samurai's the McLaren.
The 650, sorry.
650. As now Lucy gets by the slow car of Spider. As here comes Inferno and Super
Spider's out there having a good time, and if you're running by a controller, you're doing great. Just to kind of stay on track with a controller is difficult. So
through this corner, here it is. Oh, Inferno sideways. Oh, a little more than sideways. Into the wall too.
Smoke coming up there.
Yeah, that's just tire smoke, I think. I didn't even pay attention. Lucy now has the fastest lap in the race. I don't even know when that happened. We jump back forward with Super Knight now, up into third from the spin from Lopez. Ooh, a little bit of tapping Spider, but gonna keep it in a straight line.
That looked like the Ferrari that kind of drifted himself into the Porsche.
Yeah. That move that Lopez did. tried to make on Spider back there, it was fun. He was all off the track, like that sort of.
Yeah.
He was basically all off the track.
I didn't get a good look at it, but
again, that's a corner you don't really want to pass on because that's when you make mistakes like that.
I found this track very narrow. I raced it by myself, but racing it with other cars would definitely make it more difficult.
Yeah. Goodwood's going to be an interesting one because Goodwood is a lot like this track.
Is it?
Yeah, but it's more wide open corners.
Well, I'll be doing some test running on Goodwood as well.
As Spider's gone again. Spider's hit the wall again.
Well, like we said, we know Spider's using a hand control, which is...
Yeah, it's a lot difficult.
Which is a lot... For me, I would be all over the place with a hand control, so he's doing very good for using a hand control like that. A hand control other than a steering wheel.
Yeah.
I found I couldn't drive any of these games good at all with a hand control. It was just very difficult to accelerate, to brake. If you were in manual mode and you were actually shifting your car, I found it even more difficult. Like with a paddle shifting wheel, up right side, left down, or even an 8-shift pattern if you were in a standard car. Like I know how to drive standard. My real car is standard. I found that way easier than I just couldn't.
Using a controller.
I couldn't get I don't play video games a lot.
Yeah.
I play racing games, if anything,
on a wheel.
on a wheel. And like I said, even back in the day, I was racing GP4 with a Momo Logitech steering wheel. I wasn't racing it by keyboard or any kind of hand controller. I had a gas, brake, paddle shift, and I had an inline shifter on the side of the Momo steering wheel as well. So.
Yep. For those that don't know who keep track of like the Codemaster series of F1 games, that's probably the best F1 game ever made, and it wasn't made by Codemasters. You go take a look at that if you
see it on GP4.
Yeah, Grand Prix 4.
One of my favorites. Now, compared to these things, everybody would probably say the graphics suck and this, that, and the other.
Yeah,
looks
again,
cartoony, but
it was made in a different year, but it's still overall a good sim.
Yeah. Still love it to this day if I could get it to work on those old computers.
Yeah, because of course some new computers don't like to run older games.
Not to mention, in those games we were running the V10 Formula One cars.
Yep.
You know, now
back when F1 had actual engines.
That's what I'll say, because I saw the V10s live, I saw the V8s live. I've never seen the 6s live, but I don't feel like I'm missing much. But the V10s live were something else. Like to hear a V10 go by, anybody who's been to a Formula One race, and then we were talking back in like a 2004, 2005 car, back when Michael Schumacher and Kimi Räikkönen and Alonso and whatnot those things sounded like you wouldn't believe it.
They were loud. Even the 8s were good too.
The 8s were good, louder and whinier. Sound like they revved a little bit higher. They were a little bit screamier. But the 10s that was the car.
The 10s just had that sound.
The 10s just had that sound. And I never saw the 12s live, but
the 12s were loud too.
12s were loud too, but there was something about those 10s that just had the right, to me it had the right sound of depth and the right sound of high-pitched screaming when it was revving out. And to hear 20 cars, 20 V10s come by you on the first lap in a Formula One race was something else.
Makes these cars sound like nothing with their V6s and V8s going by.
Yeah, unless maybe you got the Lexus LFA out there with a Formula One V10 in it.
Yeah, if it does come out.
If it does come out, it would be nice if you got an LFA in this game.
Yeah. As now, let's try to get back a little bit into this race.
Okay.
I'm talking a lot about F1, but as Spider's going to get lapped by D-Nasty now, going through one of the corners. Good shot of the blue flag waving by right there. Looks like everyone is sort of split up, so we've hit that part of the race where everyone has got into their own rhythm and just trying to push now.
And there goes that new Supra that D-Nasty's driving there.
Yeah.
We know it's powered by a BMW and not fully all Toyota, but Toyota's got a little piece of the action. And
Lopez called it last video Toyota Z4. So.
Yeah, what can I say? I can't contest that one. I can't argue with that one.
Yeah, for sure. As we come through turn 2 with Super Night, as this race is still going on through true. Everyone is sort of split up, so it's going to be a little bit harder to commentate with everyone in their own little bubble.
You know what? The shot of that Ferrari 458, that's always been one of my favorite Ferraris of the modern era. You know, of the new double clutch paddle shift stuff, the 458's always been one of my favorite ones, you know.
It's a loud V8.
Obviously, back in the day, from when I was, it was the twin turbo F40 or the Testarossa on the Ferrari, you know, and the almost looks too wedged out now. The Lamborghini Countach, the 500S or 5000,
basically a complete wedge.
Complete wedge, but looked like a doorstop. Yeah. But compared to like a lot of the new Lamborghinis now and the new Ferraris, you know, they're changing their style. And obviously, I mean, in the real world, on a track, paddle shift is the way to go. But in the real world, H standard shifted is the way to go with a clutch pedal. I don't want to drive. Nobody's going to be pushing a Ferrari on the real track or Lamborghini on the normal roads.
Yeah.
Paddle shifting. So I drive standard. Just drove it today, and 5-speed manual transmission is definitely the most fun for me on regular roads. Like regular here, there's a stoplight right there. There's a stop sign here. There's traffic in front of me. Standard is the way to go.
Little off-track excursion with the Spider there, but it's got it back there, right?
And he's in a Porsche, what, GT3?
Yeah, the 919 RSR. We go back to the BMW Z4.
BMW Toyota Z4.
Sucks that they had to get parts from BMW. They couldn't just grab one.
Yeah.
Oh, here we go.
Toyota didn't want to put too much money into a sports car.
Inferno's gone chasing down Spider. Here
for something that wasn't going to be a high seller for them. That's the Toyota story behind it. So they took a BMW inline. They helped with the design, but they didn't put a lot of money into actually develop. Ooh,
that looked bad. And I think Spider is just out with that one. So yeah, Inferno with a bit of dirty.
It looks like looks like Spider kind of got punted there.
Yeah, tensions got high. And yeah. So for punting, Lopez and Inferno is not going to get points for this race. So punting off the
Well, everybody's here for fun, is what I thought. But
yeah, but if you're
a little bit of competition, but you know,
yeah, well, if you're punting people on purpose,
you gotta keep it a little clean.
You gotta try and keep some sort of. Of course, we're connecting from different countries, so it's not all going to be clean, but that's on purpose for sure, so. I guess you blame him for his spin.
You know what? I still think it's fun. I think you try and grind out the race no matter what. I think it's still fun. I don't know who's in good, hot, sunny weather country, except for maybe the one guy who hasn't made it in Australia. But yeah, I'm quite sure everybody in the UK and Canada and the States, most of the States, the weather's getting cold, and this is a good series to be in for the winter, you know, like.
Yeah, got nothing to do outside? Come join us.
Well, that's right. I mean, who wants to do anything outside and freeze?
Yeah, that's true.
It's getting definitely colder here in Canada, definitely, and I'm sure many parts of the United States are also getting colder, unless you're racing in Florida or Cali or California or Arizona maybe, but you know, we're all getting cool for the upcoming months, and it's a good series that I'm going to definitely commit watching all 12 races.
As now Super Night pits for tires and fuel, I assume. The lime green pit crew doing their job. Interesting color for a team.
Is that the Ferrari?
That's a Ferrari, yep.
I thought his name was something else.
Nope, it says Super Night.
Super Night, okay.
Samurai's
in the McLaren.
Yep, Samurai's the McLaren. Taking a lot of fuel. Gonna fill it all the way up, maybe. Yep.
Well, I know from watching this race live, Drift King. Is that Drift King right there?
Nope, that's
the Supra.
That is the Supra.
I know from watching this. What? Okay, I know your fuel strategy and your tire strategy has to be. You have to be on. You got to be learning the track or learning how many laps you have to go and whatnot. And there's definitely strategy involved when you're doing a 41 or a 100-mile race.
Oh, for sure. All of our races are set for 100 miles. Well, sort of. Doesn't take it exactly 100 miles sometimes, but they're all closest to 100 miles as possible. So, BrandsHatch, we have 41, and then in Goodwood, I believe, is 43 laps. So it's a bit of a shorter track than BrandsHatch. And then Monza, I don't know at this point how many laps are going to be. I have to go back and check. I can't remember at the top of my head. The headlights are now on the Ferrari.
I'm guessing the track temperature is also going to start dropping now that the sun's gone.
Yep, no sun out. Track temp going to start dropping. Lap time might start coming down.
Almost looks kind of foggy out there a little bit.
Yeah. Probably just the position where the sun is compared to the clouds and stuff. Here we go with Lucy now coming through the last corner. Going to start lap 22. We have now 19 laps left in this race. Still a ways to go. Through some of these corners are here. So we're gonna go quiet for a couple of minutes and let you listen to these engines for a bit. Still going through the race, now coming up to 16 laps to go. We went back up for a bit, and now we are back talking again. Coming through, we have Your King still with a good lead, everyone in their own little bubble again. Super Knight has now got in front of Sushi Samurai. Or we might have been in front before, I can't remember. From where we stopped recording our voices. Oh, here we go though. Here's Sushi coming up to Super Knight. See this race coming up. Coming through turn 2.
And that's the McLaren. That's the McLaren chasing down
the Ferrari.
The Ferrari.
Sushi just went purple sector 1, so faster than the fastest lap. So he must have really been closing on that soft tire that he changed. Purple sector 2 as well. the fastest lap over here for Sushi. Through down up to the hill. To an almost flat. Another purple sector. He is flying right now. He's going to catch his Ferrari in no time flat. McLaren also another good car to use.
Oh, he goes off the track and grabs some gravel.
Slightly off track. Well, I guess that slows down the run from Sushi. Their last battle is going to take a little bit longer than thought. Super Knight's now running away because of that little mistake from Sushi.
Well, Super Knight's staying nice and smooth on the racing line and staying on the dark pavement, not running off too much. So,
like I mentioned, the Ferrari is the easiest thing to drive.
It's not the easiest car to drive, so I'm told.
There are a lot easier cars to drive than the Ferrari, for sure.
But it's a Ferrari.
Yeah, but it's a Ferrari. You can't go wrong with a Ferrari.
It's a Ferrari.
As Dynasty has now dropped back a bit from 4th place and 3rd, are running their own little bubble again, as the grid still stands the way it was when we started recording again. Ferrari is probably one of the best sounding GT3 cars we have here.
For me, yeah.
And then we go to the V8 now. We go to the AMG.
Well, most of these are V8s, aren't they? Like
the top 3 are all V8, actually.
They're all V8s. The Lexus is a V8.
They're all V8s right now. They're currently running right now.
Yeah.
They're all V8s except for Dynasty and the Super, which is
that's right, which is a straight 6. He's in a straight 6 turbo. That's right. But I think the Aston's a 8.
No, the Aston's a 12.
The Aston's a 12?
The Aston's a 12.
What do I know? What do I know? Does that affect his gas strategy in these races?
I guess so. I guess it would burn more gas.
Because, yeah, I don't think you're at 8s against the Mercedes, and the Lexus is an 8.
The
650 is an 8, is
yep.
it? Yep.
Spider was running a 919, which is a V6.
Which is a V6 turbo, right?
No turbo.
Non-turbo?
Naturally aspirated V6.
Funny, because that's supposedly one of the faster cars, and the V6 naturally aspirated.
Yeah, it's not fast in a straight line. It's not like the fastest thing in the straight line.
Yeah.
This is the RSR, but it's still like one of the fastest in the corners. So he's gone for handling compared to.
Well, these tracks are curvy like this, and all that matters.
Not to mention hilly like this track. Goodwood is mostly flat. There's a couple of hills on it, but now go back to our lead with we're on lap 27 of 41. Time is running out for Lucy to catch up, as that is a purple sector 1 drift.
What lap are we on? 27?
27.
So drift has pitted already, I'm guessing. I think we missed the drift. Yeah.
I think we must have missed the pit.
Because I think that pit happened around lap 22. Oh no, or 27.
It might be this lap.
Might be this lap.
I can't remember.
Might be this lap. It's tires and gas time.
It might be.
I think it's lap 27.
It might be this lap. I can't remember.
It is lap 27.
Walking through Sushi in that color shift 650S GT3. One of the better sounding V8 cars for McLaren.
We heard some of these cars live at the Drive Festival.
Yeah, Drive Festival 2022.
Drive Festival 2022.
Here we go. Fuel and tires.
Fuel and tires for the leader. How much of a lead does he have? Is he going to come out in front? How much of a lead is he?
He's got a good lead so far.
Well, I'm sure Lucy's right there chasing this in. He's in there. Fuel and tires. How much fuel? How much fuel?
It wouldn't stop very long. Half tank probably. Coming out on the soft tire. And he still has the lead.
Still has the lead?
Yep, so Lucy dropped back quite a bit.
There's Lucy
rounding the
there's turn. Lucy, not that far back.
No, that's
That's not Lucy?
That's Lucy, but that's Dynasty.
Oh, sorry. I thought we were still on the RCF.
No, it's Dynasty.
So we were saying that we were at the Drift Festival 2022. Drive Festival.
Drift.
Drive Festival 2022 and saw a lot of these cars live, and then what they do is they take them up for like a hot run on the track. So you actually, it's like a car show that you actually got to hear these engines start and actually get to hear them run on the track. Now they didn't run a full lap; they ran half a lap on the track in reverse. But you were very close to them. You were very close to them. You could hear what these engines really sounded.
Oh yeah, that was definitely someone off the track.
That's a Supra.
That was a Supra gone off. Through the final section of the track. The sushi now. I think it's a design from ACC actually. So I think it's actually a copy design from ACC that he's copied over to Grand 7. By the way, apparently D Nasty has blipped out of existence. He's no longer on the leaderboard. So he's gone apparently.
He's left the race?
Yeah, he's blipped out of existence. There's only 4 cars in the leaderboard now. He's not there. Back with the Ferrari now. Probably the best sounding car that's left.
I wonder what happened to the Supra and why it's left the race.
Yeah, probably went wide and hit the barrier.
I think it's still fun to run the race till the end. Even if,
not to mention if you're running like if you leave the race, you lose points and you lose points from the points.
Yeah. Also, I don't know how much time some of these guys spend racing, and you know, maybe they're also in other leagues. Who knows?
There's a big build-up to race day for us. We have a couple of practice sessions open and online. Of course, they are free to open. Like everyone can enter them and just drive around the track if you want. Of course, you can always try to look for them and try to enter them to practice on the track that we are doing next. Or you can even ask me because I'm going to be starting up the races for them. The practice lobbies, and you can ask if you want to join the series. Of course, once we hit 16 and the race is full, if we have more entries, we'll have a race for the top. We'll have a race for the bottom cars, like the bottom 3 cars in the championship, to race their way into the race.
So that's only if you have over 16. You have to do like a qualifier
if we hit
top 16 qualify.
If we hit 16, then it'll stand, and then whoever it is, the bottom 3 in the drivers' championship will go to the qualifier, and they'll try to qualify for the race.
Okay.
So that it opens up spaces.
So that's like the old 107% rule or something like that.
Well, not quite, but it's a bit different. Ferrari again. Looks like Sushi's starting to close on the Super Night again.
And we're on lap 30 here with 11 to go.
11 left.
Oh, and a big slide off onto the overrun under the gravel.
Yeah, off the track.
And a little bit of fishtail back onto the track.
Here comes Sushi.
That's the 650 chasing in the Ferrari that goes a little wide again.
Yep.
And here comes the chase.
The chase is on.
The McLaren is not making games. Oh, the Ferrari's gone. Those tires are given.
Tires are gone again.
The McLaren has made a short move on the Ferrari, and that's it.
Will Ferrari be able to catch back up, though?
I don't know if he'll be able to catch back up, but even if he catches back up, will he be able to pass? We'll see on the straight.
Look, Sushi's already pulled quite a bit.
Ferrari's still there, though. Position got given up pretty quickly, but the question is, will the Ferrari take it back? They're still pretty tight to each other.
Yeah, they're still pretty close. 10 laps left, Drifting still leading, followed by Lucy, and now Sushi. And this fight we're going to watch a bit because they're the closest cars on track at the moment. Well, that's left running. We've had quite a few incidents in this track that has a couple of them not finished. We plan to have more cars on the track as well, hoping for next race, more than what we have. So first race was 8, this one was 7. We'll see how many we get at Goodwood.
Well, it'll definitely be good to see Wolf come back in Goodwood because
for sure.
Wolf did some really impressive driving on that first race. So we missed Wolf on the second race, but I'd really like to see what Wolf, a bit of a strategy change, but the driving skill's definitely there with Wolf. So let's see what happens with that.
I could see RG Labs taking the team championship.
RG Labs is the 2 Mercedes team.
The 2 Mercedes team. Yep.
Yeah, definitely Wolf and Lucy.
They got good chemistry.
Working good as a team together.
Oh, there goes the Ferrari. The tires are gone.
He's gone into the pits.
He's gone into pit.
What are you gonna do?
When your tires are gone, you gotta change them. Actually, he doesn't have enough fuel to make it to the end, I don't think. Yeah, he's coming in for fuel as well.
Fuel and tires.
He didn't have enough fuel to make it to the end.
Did he go to a soft or he went to a medium? He doesn't have much to go in the track.
Probably softs. Softs are probably the best.
Down to 9 laps to go, so
yep,
you may as well
he's
go
come
soft.
out on soft.
Go for grip, go for speed.
Yep, he's come back out on softs. He has to try and hunt down Sushi now.
Yeah,
on those worn softs.
Keep your fuel turned up to full power.
Especially when he's pitting.
Yep. Oh, those tires aren't warmed up yet. Looks like a little bit of fishtailing on the corner.
Sushi has actually now pulled the fastest lap of the race. And of course, there's 1 point for fastest lap, and it gets beaten by Drift King, right as I'm talking about it. So you get 1 point for fastest lap. So if Drift King stays fastest lap and wins the race, he'll get full max points, 11 points for one race weekend.
Well, Drift King's probably got a half a tank and soft tires and just pushing for that fastest lap point as well.
Anything to get an edge over in drivers or constructors, or in this case teams. These are already constructed cars.
You know, there's 8 laps left and anything can happen. Anybody can go wide, anybody can go off track, and the results of this race could change very quickly and very easily.
Even though everyone's so spread apart, it can.
Yep, Drift King's grinding some grass there. A little grass cutting there too. Oh,
that's within track limits.
Track limits, yeah, but only so much chicane hitting you can do.
It's all about being clean. That's all you can really do.
Yeah, sometimes those chicanes can pop you up in the air and twist you sideways, though.
Yeah, especially when we get to the last race of the season on WeatherTech Race with its half-a-meter high curbs.
Half-a-meter high curb?
They're not actually that big, but they feel like they're that big because when you hit them, you like bounce over them. Going out to Lucy. Lucy also has a good fight, but with a bad start, just drop behind from Drift King. Both races, the first 2 races, Lucy has had bad starts on the first lap, both spins.
But Lucy's actually done good overall in both races, like regardless on the bad start or a little overrun or even a spin. Like the consistency through the 41 laps is what kind of keeps you up there, right?
Yeah.
And anything can happen to anybody on any lap, so
yep, you're going to have.
It's never over till it's over.
Yeah, for sure. You're going to have an accident at some point in the series, I guess.
Yeah. Well, I'll tell you what. I think if Wolf is able to rejoin for the Goodwood race, there's going to be an interesting race there between the top 3 guys that are currently on that track right now.
Even Sushi Samurai, he's showing potential. He just got a bad start because he got punted first lap.
And Sushi Samurai's in the Ferrari?
No, that's the McLaren.
The McLaren, sorry.
So even though Super Knight is replacing...
Yeah, this McLaren's doing pretty good as well, so...
Even Super Knight is replacing Wolf in that Ferrari, he could still race for the series as a solo driver. He just cannot earn points.
Now, guys, anybody who missed one race, like Wolf who missed one race, don't think you're out of the points leads because at any given point, somebody else might miss a race.
Especially Wolf with that pace.
Like Wolf's got the pace, and I mean, if he's up there and running it, even though he missed the second race, there's 12 races, and not everybody will be able to be there for all 12 races.
Yeah.
I mean,
like for instance, we were like on this one I can count. We are the people that said that we're coming. 3 of them did not show up.
Yeah.
So we would have had the biggest field we had so far, but 3 didn't show up.
3 didn't show up, and those 3 might show up next time, and 3 that are on the track right now might not be there. So don't say, "Oh, I'm already behind. I've already missed 2 races, and I can't join this league," because not everybody. people sometimes have commitments and they cannot make the race, and
not to mention it's all
they
for
give
fun.
up. Not to mention it's all for fun,
and there's no prize.
There's no. It's all for fun, and there's no prize. But still, like, not everybody's going to be there for every single race.
Yeah.
Other than maybe Drift King, because if Drift King's the administrator on the race, then he may have to be there for every race. But even him might miss a race, and somebody else might have to.
Yeah, someone else will have.
Someone else will have to do it. We don't know what anything's going to happen on any given Sunday, so.
Yep.
Anybody can miss a race of the 12 races, or 2 races of the 12 races, and only race 10 races and still end up winning it all.
Yeah. So back to what I was saying, even though Super Knight is running for RG Labs right now, he can still enter next race. He just won't, because since Wolf is back, he is the reserve driver. He will not score points for RG Labs because he is a reserve driver for them, but he can still race in the series.
And he still earns points as an individual driver.
Yeah, he still earns points as a driver. He just cannot contribute to RG Labs because that means there's 3 on one team, and that would be unfair to the other drivers that only have 2.
Yeah.
Coming into the closing stages of the race, as we're watching now Drift King coming through the final bits of this lap, final corners. Of course, with everything takes practice, and you have to learn the track in advance and your tunes. You have to update for each track. Monza's going to be an interesting one because we might have a bunch of different tunes for Monza. People might want to go faster on the corners or for the straights. You never know. Not to mention the soft tire could probably be a better race tire for that track because of less corners. We're watching Wolf now. Oh, not Wolf, sorry. Wolf isn't here. Lucy. I saw the AMG and I thought Wolf. Through lap 37, we're running out of time for Lucy to catch Drift King.
Down to 4 laps to go. What's the lead from Drift King from Lucy?
It is, I'd say, 20 to 30 seconds. We don't have an actual time on the side where it says the gap, but the Sushi Samurai is now here. He has done really well for so far. He missed out on the first race, came back in the second one, and he's pulled from Super Knight, who had to stop for an extra set of tires and fuel. Turn 3. I got lost when we were on the track for a second. And yeah, everyone is still pretty split up. Actually, Drift King is coming to lap Super Knight soon. If we saw someone go by in the background, I didn't catch the name. It's probably Lucy. Closing stages of the race, not a lot of cars on track, because most of them do an F. So there is a rule for the series: if your game crashes while you're running in the points, you can get 1 point for the race. But if you voluntarily leave, you don't get any points. And yeah, even if you have fastest lap, you trade it to the person who has the next lap, next fastest lap. Watching Lucy now, trying to really get as much time to try and gain on Drift King here. The lights now come back on in the Mercedes. It's getting darker.
So the question is it going to rain in the last 2 laps?
Now from that shot, it doesn't look like it wants to. It looks like it's all clear skies except for a couple of clouds. Off this race. Only a couple laps left as Sushi is still running in third. Sushi had a good strategy today after having a bad start. Coming back to finish where he started, unless he makes a mistake on the final laps. Still, I don't think Super Knight can catch because Super Knight's a little bit far back. Drift King now. Coming around turn 7. Yep. Turn 7 and into turn 8.
And we're on lap 39 right now.
Say 39?
No, it says 39.
Yep, 39. 2 to go. At this point, he got such a big lead. Just take it easy. He's 4 seconds down basically on his fastest lap, so that's really taking it easy.
Either trying to save fuel or save tires.
One of the two. Coming around with 2 to go. Coming into the closing stages of this race. Trying to keep it clean for the final couple of laps. He's got still like 25-second gap to Lucy behind. Lucy's gonna just cross the line now to start the second last lap.
But I think Lucy is reeling him in slowly, but I don't know if Lucy's got enough laps to catch up.
I don't think there's enough time.
As long as there's no mistakes from Drift King.
Yep, no mistakes. Then
no off tracks, no spins, no wall hits, then...
Yep. Here comes Sushi now. I spoke to Sushi pre-race. He said he really wanted to get fastest lap during this race, get some points back from Team Spider. You'll need to pull something off here in these final laps, as Super Knight has a half-second penalty for something. We didn't catch what it was. Probably an off-track or a cut somewhere. Surprised you got a penalty though, because penalties we have set to weak because the heavy penalty system is a little bit stupid with how many times it awards penalties. So must have really cut the track somewhere to get a half-second penalty somewhere. Here we go. We're gonna ride along with Drift King on the final lap. It does look like it is getting darker for sure because the headlights have come up, but I think that's just the sun going down. Around turn 3, going up the track, and this little back straightaway into turn 4. Around 3, just trying to take it nice and easy, no mistakes. Wolf has closed a bit, maybe 20 seconds, but...
Not Wolf, Lucy.
Oh, no. Lucy, I keep saying Wolf, because I think AMG, I think Wolf, sorry. Yeah, so Lucy's closed into maybe 25 seconds, but I don't think it's going to be enough. With the last lap, there's no chance. Come around the final couple of corners. Taking it nice and easy, far down on the fastest lap. Along the straight. And around the final turn,
to the final straight.
Around the final turn, Drift King is going to win Race 2 of GTEC at BrandsHatch. He's going to extend his lead over Lucy now. With a good win here. Perfect race, textbook race, fastest lap, nice and clean, except for one spin, and the win. Lucy's going to come home to finish in second place, trying to go for fastest lap, I'm guessing, to try to take that point away. He's not going to get it. He's going to come home in second place for RG Labs Motorsport.
Definitely have to watch Lucy for the rest of the series.
And here comes Sushi after missing the first race.
A dangerously close person there that's consistently good driver.
Sushi after missing the first race is going to come home and take 6 points for Team Spider and for him.
Actually,
that is our race.
McLaren's a very consistent driver too.
Here's our race winner, Drift King RC, for the cool down lap. Around turn 4 for the cool down. Now I'm going to take a look at our full standings there. 3 cars DNF'd, 4 finished. It still says running there for Super Knight, but we're going to count them as finished because the time was not long enough. So now we go take a look at our new standings. Drift King is now ahead with 21 points, followed by Lucy with 16, Wolf 7, Sushi for Team Spider with 6, Dynasty gets 5 points, and then Super Knight with 4. RG Labs lead with 27 points, DRC Racing is right behind with 26. Team Spider goes up with 7 points because of Sushi. And then Fazzo Motorsport and Sir Special have no points. Have 3. And this is the end of the race. Thanks for watching.